I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to Dash Radio with yet another heater. You already know how we get down. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be scraped around the edges. You know I don't give two shakes of a fat rat's ass. I got to have these conversations. See, you already know how we get down. People get upset with me because I have the conversation you're afraid to have, which is why your life is mediocre, which is why your relationships are terrible. You tune in and get these jewels from us and apply it to your life and it'll all turn around. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save you.
I want to be saved.
Tonight's topic is a heater. We got a full house. Tonight's topic is a heater. You already know how I get down. Before I get to the topic, got some things to promote. Total Package Energy. You got to get the Total Package Energy. Don't play yourself. I'm telling you, it's better than Red Bull. It's better than Red Bull. This is something you can't drink after 6 p.m. though. You drink this after 6 p.m., it's
Like Adderall.
you're not going to sleep, period. Okay? So it's a neural enhancer, stamina sustainer,
What you gonna be doing?
antioxidant. I drove up to Oakland, and I like to drive during the day. I don't like driving at night. But I had to drive up to Oakland because Corey was doing a show. Corey was like, Zoe, take my car to Oakland because I want you at the show. He said, I'm going to fly up ahead, but take the whip and we going to drive back. I was like, okay, cool. I said, what time you want me to come through? I'm thinking my time. Like, I'm going to be around like 3:30 to get the whip because, you know, the trip from L.A. to Oakland, that's a good 4-5 hours. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be there at 3:30. He's like, what about 9:30? You know, he's part bear, so there's some hibernation going on with him.
What kind?
So I got, you know what I'm saying? I got to get to this dude's crib at 9:30. So I'm driving up at 9. So you know I'm not going to get there till 2, 3 in the morning. I took 2 of these. When I tell you, I didn't even take the time to figure out how to work his radio so I could play my music. I drove up there with no music. This Total Package Energy is not, I didn't have no sounds.
That sound like crack, Zoe.
I promise you.
Exactly.
Nah, what I like about this dude,
By freeway
he's
rate.
one of them holistic guys. And he trains a lot of NBA players, trains a lot of football, NFL players. He trained my son for the past 2, what have you done? He trained my son for the past 2 summers.
I got a question about it though.
Yeah, ask.
Like when it's time for intercourse, can we like really like keep going and going and going and going?
Oh, it's got
and
some
going?
Yohimbe bark in it.
Okay, then. Okay, where my freaks at? Okay.
Just in case somebody wanted to know about Yohimbe. Nah, I drank 2 of these. Wow. On the way up there. But I will say this. On the way back, Corey was driving. And I didn't have any more of these. I drank 2 5-hour energies and one Red Bull, and I couldn't stay awake. I fell asleep the whole time. This shit wakes. It wakes.
Whoa.
Total Package Energy. Get there right now. TotalPackageEnergy.com.
For your side niggas.
Order it. And then don't forget to get your copy of Zoe's Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. 12 chapters of hot monkey lava.
Monkey lava.
I'm telling you. A lot of people get twisted. They be reading, they watch the shows, with me and Corey, or they watch the Zoe What Morning Show, and they be like, oh, Zoe crazy, he funny, whatever. Read this book. You'll see an entirely different side. 12 chapters. It is a workbook. At the end of each chapter, there are exercises you have to do in order to matriculate to the next chapter. This is a book you definitely want to read with your partner while things are good. Don't come running to this book when y'all got drama. Right. Don't do it then. Because now nobody's willing to put anything to practice. They're not trying to, put anything to use. They want to fight now because it's drama. It's bad. This is the Apple of relationship books. Just read a chapter a day and y'all will be okay. The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. And then we have some special guests in the building. One and Bliss Gillespie. That shit is a tongue twister.
Just a bliss.
Say it. A Bliss Gillespie.
No.
Y'all can sing?
Okay. So look, real quick.
She's like, okay.
What is a selfish baby daddy? What is a selfish baby daddy? Wowzer. And what is a selfish baby mama? Oh, shit.
One without the other.
They are the authors of these wonderful books. What is a selfish baby daddy and what is a selfish baby mama?
Can't have one without the other.
This shit about to... Yes, you can. You damn sure can now. We're going to find out this evening.
They go hand in hand.
Oh, okay. So now I've promoted a couple of things. Oh, one final thing. I'm sorry. Jesus. I have to promote this. I have to. Second annual Black Power Awards after party in tribute to Rakim Allah. I'll be hosting that. Me and this other young lady by the name of Sunny Patterson in Atlanta. Go to blackpowerawards.com and catch up on how to get down with this, the Black Power Awards. I will be there November 18th. I think I'll be there from the 17th through the 19th. But this is Saturday night, November 19th, 10 p.m. until a tribute to who I think is the greatest MC of all time. Rakim. I don't see anybody really fucking with Rakim. I mean, he never cursed. Right. He's just one of the greatest MCs ever. Period. Okay, cool. So now that that's out of the way, today's topic, I could tell it's going to be a feisty ass room right now. I could tell. Man, turn the camera back so I want to see these people.
I want signs.
Miss Lips.
Sorry.
Mimi.
What's up?
Angry Smurf. It's kind of your name now. Okay. Okay, shit. Joelle Comedy. You want us to say Joelle Comedy?
Put some respect in her name.
Okay. Okay, cool. Angry Smurf in the building.
Angry Hey.
We got a Bliss and One in the building.
Hey.
And my homeboy.
Tone Talks.
The bad guy.
Tone talk shit.
Tone talk shit.
Tone talk shit.
He got that life.
All right, so here we go right now. The number to dial. I want you guys to participate. If you have anything to add to today's topic, Call us. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. You're listening to the Voice of Reason on Dash Radio. I'm Zoe Williams. Here we go. Today's topic.
Here we go.
Black family dysfunction. A deeper look at the origins of baby mama / baby daddy drama and economic inequality as the culprit. Did economic inequality create the baby daddy and baby mama drama syndrome? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. True or false? When a baby mama faces experiences like the loss of a loved one, being stagnant in her career, or caring for someone who is dealing with a prolonged illness, she experiences the stress of not being able to control her life. This causes her to hold the reins even more tightly of the kid. Oh, no. Don't do that to the children. Oh, Jesus. The kids are subject to her mood swings? Is that what happens? She still thinks she's a good parent when she's... Okay, cool. 323-230-4610. We want to know the truth, true or false. We went from it takes a village to raise a child to don't say shit to my child. Oh, damn.
That's deep, Zoe.
That's real.
Where does baby mama and baby daddy drama actually come from? Does it come from broken mamas? Do broken mamas pass down the art of baby mama-ism to their daughters?
It's an ism?
It's an ism. It's a philosophy.
Generation curse.
The Order of the Sith. Okay, cool. Ladies, do you know how to deal with your boyfriend's baby mama? Oh, hell. Do y'all got a cool relationship? And if you don't, whose fault is it? Are you the instigator?
Women.
Or is the baby mama who ain't over that dick that belonged to you? Is she the instigator? Wow. Using the child as a pawn to get that schlong. Hallelujah. Hold it a vocal shot.
Church dick is good.
I'm asking questions. I need help. What are some seemingly innocuous things your parents said that messed you up, right? More than maybe you thought it would. Like you saw them arguing with each other. And it seemed like some slick, sly shit that they saying to each other. Could be like,
nigga, you ain't got no job.
Or if you would have come through like you said you would have, she could have gotten into that camp. Ooh. Hey. Baby mama and baby daddy drama. Where does it come from? The Voice of Reason is live. I'm going to throw it to the panel now. We've got authors. They wrote a book about it.
Ooh, get it.
They got 2 books. I don't even see how they could have written a book about a father.
Well,
But
baby mamas and baby daddies both? Well, actually, so we did interview fathers, so it wouldn't come from our perspective.
Okay, good, because I was about to tear that whole shit down.
We actually interviewed mothers, fathers, and children to write these books so that we can get real, truthful accounts of what they deem is selfish. And we kind of brought them to life by creating the stories and embedding them in the pages of the books to help kind of draw the picture of what's going on. You have, just like you have the games that baby mamas play, baby daddies play those games as
Tell
well.
us some of the games that baby mamas play.
Sometimes baby mamas play that, they feel like an entitlement issue. When
Speak
you
on
move on to be with someone else and you guys both come to grips and decide that, okay, we're not going to be able to work as a relationship, but we're going to go ahead and co-parent. Well, that baby mama then, or mother, some people don't like the term baby mama, but you get the point.
You's a baby mama, damn it.
I don't want that bitch around my baby.
You ain't got no ring?
Or as long as you with her, you can't see our son or our daughter, or I don't want our daughter around her, when her is who you live with.
Oh, you mean what does she cook over there? Because we don't eat that.
Yeah. All of the
Why is she combing my child's hair when I already did it when I dropped her off? Stuff like that.
Lord have mercy.
And why are you posting pictures on social media with you and that bitch with my baby?
Oh.
Wow.
Like y'all a family and that's her baby.
Well, this is a blended family, by the way. We're not with you.
Well, these are some of the issues that come about in, selfish baby mama, selfish baby daddy situations. And then sometimes you have the selfish baby mamas that you can actually be able to co-parent without, the attorney generals or the child support or the system playing a part in to try to tell you or manipulate the type of relationship that you actually build with your child. If you can come to grips and do that, that'll be great. But then you have some mothers that may feel like, okay, well, he's not going to do what I want him to do when I want him to do it. So I'm going to put them folks in his life and I'm going to make him pay for it. And whenever she doesn't get her way, she goes up and try to get more from you or whatever just to make your life miserable. Then when you actually go to them and say, okay, well, this is not working for me, because I can't survive. I'm giving her all my money. They'll tell you, and then on top of that, she's not allowing me to see my son or daughter, but I'm paying this money every month.
Parental alienation.
They'll tell you that that's a civil issue, that's a family issue, that you have to go to a family court, that the child support doesn't necessarily have anything to do with that. They're just for the best interest of the child. So now you have a father who's already strapped for cash because he's paying all this child support. How can he possibly afford to pay an attorney to go and correct the issues that are making the co-parenting relationship damn near impossible? So now your back is against the wall. So now you're being manipulated by a baby mama that's bitter, and you're being manipulated by a system that says that if you don't pay this, we're going to lock you up. So now nobody
But
can
wait
do
a minute,
anything for the
One, if
child.
she has the power of the system at her disposal, couldn't you say it's kind of unfair?
Well,
or does he
not
have the
necessarily.
power of the system at his
He does
disposal?
too. It's all about the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent. It doesn't matter whether you're mother or father. It all goes back to who has the custody of the child, not who's keeping the child, but who actually has the on paperwork.
One, I know you are an author, but we're going to have to defer here to our lawyer, our resident lawyer.
Yeah.
Talks.
What's interesting is that we think of the laws as though they've caught up to like post-feminism, and they're really archaic in a way, and they still see women as weak and as needy, and women kind of play into that. So that is true, what you say about custodial, but we almost always award that to the mother. So in operation, what ends up happening is the system actually treats women much better. There's a great video, I sent it to Zoe, where they did like a sting operation on black men in Alabama. And when they, and basically they set up this thing where they were gonna give them free tickets to the Alabama game, but they really was doing a sting to arrest them for child support. So like, you there for child support, that's the only crime you got. And when you got there, they tackled you to the ground like you had committed burglary.
Wow.
But there was one white woman and they treated her with such respect. And I think what we like to think about is a fairness that doesn't really happen until you go down to child support. I went with a friend down to child support once just to assist, and it was awful how they treated like black males. They treated them like boys. People didn't look at them in their eyes, meaning admin, and they treated black women, I felt like, much better. That's what I felt. Long story short, I do think that we got to be honest about what you just said, and I respect that honesty. But I also would add that I wouldn't genderize, and I'm not saying you did, that it's just black women, because like you said, because you look at like the Future case with Russell Wilson, there was a lot of, I don't want to see my picture of my child with this man, and this man is with your child daily, and he's gonna be pictured, and everybody kind of needs to grow up in the situation.
Right.
So true.
He touched on the selfish baby daddy angle.
Right, because it's not just in the African American.
Well, you gotta speak on the mic, honey.
It's not just in the African American community. It's in all communities. It's in all ethnic backgrounds and social. It's just more prevalent in the African American community because they paint the picture as if our men are not good men. But there's a lot of wonderful, great, responsible Black African American kings out there that are providing for their children. It's just society likes to put a magnifying glass on that. But when you go to social services, there's just as many Hispanics, Caucasian, European people out there that's filing for child support right along with the African Americans, but they tend to put a magnifying glass on, of course, our black brothers.
I can smoke a bag of that.
Let me chime in one more thing that I meant to make as a point. Where are you guys from?
Houston.
Where?
Houston.
What's interesting is that also the law is kind of like different in different places.
Right.
You know, you look at what happened with Walter Scott, and essentially he was shot in the back running away from child support. That's the guy that was shot in the back in South Carolina. You know, we forget that we live in a blue state. We live in California. And even here, it's hard. So just imagine what it's like to owe child support in the deep south of Mississippi. And I think
state of Texas.
You know, and I think for a lot of us, it's foreign. You know, a lot of us it's foreign to us the reality of really a man that was willing to jump out of a car with the police with a gun to literally run from child support. He ran slow, but he shouldn't have got shot in the back.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And it's actually true because, you know, as a baby mama, you know, me and my child's father, we're not the best of friends, but we have a child with 4 disabilities. So we finally had to have the discussion. It's like, okay, I know you don't want to pay me any child support, but what do you want me to do? But I also had to look at myself. Maybe I was conversing with him in a way that was forcing him not to want to do more, because I can be real forceful and straight in your face, you know.
I can tell.
I can.
As soon as I met her, I was like, oh,
What's your
shit.
sign?
She forceful.
Leo, my birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Lions in the building. So I humbled myself and I started us to be able to communicate better, because I felt like sometimes when you start off in something, one person just keeps it there. So for me, I felt like maybe I'm the reason why he's not making the effort to try to do more, because he's thinking about what I've done before or how I acted before. And I told him, I said, if I've done anything to offend you, I apologize. And if we need to work together more on what we need to do for our child, let's sit down, let's talk, you know what I mean? And so from there, it's been working out. But I had to, as a mother, not wait for him to decide that. I said, you know what, I want peace with you, so let me be the first person to step up and say, let's just work on this. Let's just get better with this, you know?
Sometimes women, I know a lot of women do not want to take that position because, like you said earlier, the entitlement issue. Has America spoiled women under the title mother? Mothers get away with everything.
Mammies.
Mothers get praised on Father's Day. And just because you had a child doesn't make you a good mama.
Right, come on now, you talking now.
See, a lot of people think, oh, because I became a mama, I'm entitled to all of that comes with being. No. You're not a good mama like Big Mama was.
Right.
You don't even know how to make grits without lumps.
I think part of it, Zozo, is that
Stir them grits, girl. Put a little milk in that thing.
we're a society kind of in flux. We're less than a generation out of feminism. And I think we're really starting to deal with the reality of who makes more money, who makes less money, who should pay for certain things.
Who makes more money?
Well,
black women or black men?
You know, there was the big thing about the payday.
Wait.
This whole,
before you answer, let's ask the ladies. Mimi, who makes more money? Black men, black women?
Black women.
Joelle Comedy?
I was going to say the same thing. Black women.
Oh, how cute are you? Aw. She's so cute.
Whatever.
Miss Lips?
Gay black men.
I agree with that one.
Well, you know, I was gonna say black women until she hit me with that gay black men. You know,
through the curveball.
That's it.
Yeah. That's
now,
that
Antonio,
exception to the rule.
Drop the jewels, man.
So you know, I did a video on this because they had the black women pay day, and I thought it was kind of fundamentally flawed because it took us away from the discussion of race and made us talk about gender. There's this whole mythology, and I call it a mythology around the double minority. You know, when you combine blackness with womenness, it makes you have twice as hard a life. But when we look at unemployment, when we look at incarceration, when we look at pay, it actually increases your life in terms of, like, we're the only race, and arguably when you look across the globe, probably the only ethnicity where it inverts for the men. And I'm not dealing with the reason why. I'm just saying that if it inverts, then you can't have a black woman's payday. You have to look at blackness as a whole, and we have to combine ourselves and look at our families.
Nigga, they got Centric. The first network designed just for women.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's look at numbers. Let's look at numbers. So the whole thing was around. It takes 17 months for a black woman to make the same amount of money a white man makes in 12 months. Well, what if it takes 17 months for a black man too?
Oh yes.
Wow.
And so like what you see is that the data shows that for every dollar a white man makes, a white woman makes 84 cents. For every dollar a white man makes, a black man makes about 72 cents, and for every dollar a white man makes, a black woman is at 66, 65, 67 cents.
Okay.
But the problem is that they haven't included the incarcerated. No subgroup like before like our lifetime broke 1% incarceration rate. So normally you don't need to include that number. But for African American men today, it's 8 to 10%. So you got a bunch of people making $1 an hour that aren't in that 72 cents. So if you add them in, black men might make less than black women. And that's not even dealing with the number employed. So what you have is this problem where if black men are the only group that make less, why are they paying for dates? If black men make less, how is that?
I Dutch.
No, but this isn't to say black men that we can't share, that we can't exchange, but this is dealing with the core dynamics of why there might be drama in certain terms of
Antonio,
baby
you making excuses.
No.
A man is a man. He's supposed to be able to provide.
A man get 2 jobs, like my granddaddy said.
He's supposed to be able to provide, brother.
Yeah.
If a man can't provide, he ain't a man.
That's what they say, right? So like when you look at it, the reason why white men can take their women out is, of course, they make 16 cents more per dollar, plus they get an inheritance. Every group is like that. And so like what's interesting about like black men is that there's this reality that part of the reason we probably have baby mama drama is nobody knows the data. Nobody understands who has the money and who doesn't and why we don't.
They don't know the data, but they still have expectations that were born out of a system that they get the bottom end of. Like if you look at, well, I'm talking about black men and women.
Yes.
Our fucking expectations for each other is some fantasy shit. Because we think we're living the same reality as the people who built the system we're participating in. When in actuality, this is, like you said before, a caste system.
Let's make it visual. Let's make it visual for them. The marriage rate for African Americans is around 50%.
Right.
The marriage rate for white folks is around 75 or 80%.
Right.
So white women are taking their 84 cents and living with somebody that make the dollar. And then, so like what you see is that they've individualized our money because we're living all broken and apart. And then they're taking their money and combining it into and saying, we the same because we women. There was no female slavery here. I'm not saying women didn't have unique struggles and we don't need to recognize them. My mother raised me and that was a blessing. But I am saying that in many senses, the major factor that has led to all of our oppression is our race and how our race permeates through our family structures.
Wow.
I think marriage is, the paperwork is bullshit. It's like applying for a job. You know, it's so systematic. We have to wake up and understand what part we are in. This is not Black America. Okay. Okay. You are not Caucasian. You are not Caucasian. Stop acting like a coon. Turn your coon life down. Okay? Because you do have to put a suit. And you do have to act niggerish to get an award. We all know. Because
you about to run fucking Antonio up out of here. He can't take it.
I'm sorry.
Mimi, I got to ask you, Mimi.
Yes.
Have you ever had to deal with baby mama drama?
Yes.
Speak into that mic and tell us, honey.
I had baby mama.
Pretty ass.
Oh, thank you.
That girl purdy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've dealt with baby mama drama. Several different times, but I guess I'll stick to the home front one. So I've dealt with baby mama drama with women that had kids with my kid's father even after we were separated, but they still, like, some of them didn't want their kids around my daughter, or they'll speak to my daughter when I'm not around. If I'm at the same event one of the girls went to school with me. She was eyeing my baby's daddy the whole time. So when we broke up, they had a baby like years later and everything. But he doesn't take care of that child. But when I see her at the picnics, she don't even speak to my daughter, which before then she spoke to my daughter. But so I thought to myself, that's kind of immature of her, because my daughter, when you see her at, say, when they're together at your house, you're hugging and kissing her, saying hello. But now that she's out with me in the streets, you don't know my daughter. And it kind of hurt my daughter's feelings, but it let you see the immaturity of some people. And yet we went to school together. We didn't have a good past because she was a woman that I used to try to beat up, but so I won't keep it real.
Mimi, you're a thug.
You know what? Mimi is nice.
She ain't no killer.
But Mimi,
okay.
Mimi don't play though. Mimi is nice though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you the shirt off my back. But like when you play little games, like the games to me she played was me and my baby's daddy, we were a known couple. So on the low, you're trying to get with him. So when I'm coming, you going the other way, you passing notes and shit. Bitch, I seen that note. Okay, brace yourself. You feel
Brace
me?
yourself.
It sounds like she wanted to be you. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, she should have scooted over in that bed or something.
You know what? She ain't getting in the bed with me, okay?
Wow.
Watch out now. But the whole thing about it is he had several kids. So one of the other baby's mamas, though, we're cool. We used to not get along. Me and her are cool. Everything is straight. So some people are mature, and then some people are immature. And then some people, I think, they're selfish, so they don't care about the child. It's all about them. So it's all about their actions, but they don't understand they're sowing bad seeds to their child because their child is seeing these actions, and they're like, dang, why are you mean to such and such? When I come over, she takes me out, she takes care of me, and then now you're mean to this person, but for no reason. Nothing's happened between you and that person besides they're with the baby daddy.
Wow.
So silly shit.
Wow. Hey, this shit is crazy. We're about to take a quick break. But when we come back, somebody's got to answer this question. True or false? Once a child reaches a certain age, there's little for the parents to talk about on a daily basis. So if you got a baby mama or a baby daddy that's trying to find a reason to talk to you, is this motherfucker trying to create some trouble, some struggles, some problems?
Right.
Want to know where you been, who you dating? Yes. Why baby mamas and baby daddies want to know who you dating? Why?
They want to see.
You guys speaking.
They want to see if you upgraded or if you took a few steps, went a few pegs back.
Why they care?
I don't know, because I don't.
No, I didn't.
I really don't.
Don't never let
my
a girl
baby
go.
daddy.
What?
They don't never let
Yeah,
a girl
they
go.
always
Once they
want-
had you, but you always mine. No, the fuck.
That's
Yes,
what they
what's up
believe.
with that?
But my kids,
Even though they
I
can have someone
adult
else.
children, so I don't really talk to my ex. For what?
Was
they
that
have cell
thing
phones.
good?
I talk to all my
Was
exes.
his thing good?
Yes, that's what
No.
I'm asking. That's why.
But it doesn't matter.
You crazy as hell.
Y'all better talk to y'all exes.
I've had some good sausage in my life, and that doesn't mean
I ain't say nothing about Sasha. Now. I don't know where we at.
What's your sign?
Aquarius. I'm a free spirit. No, but I don't go back looking. Once I'm through with you, I'm through with you.
You probably don't even get that deep.
What you mean?
I'm gonna break your whole shit down.
Hilarious.
Go ahead,
hit the
Mimi.
wall, girl.
What you mean? Hold up. I done got back with a man that I met in 1991. We got 27 years of history, and he dicks me down real good.
Oh, she told you to get your line.
Let's go. I just wanted her to talk more. That's all.
Just go ahead and put that out there.
I just wanted her to put out a little more. You know?
And I
Ain't nothing
put it
wrong
on
with
so
two,
good.
though.
25 years later, he put a ring on it. Hello.
Excellent.
Ain't no-
Baby
wrong with
mamas
two.
ain't too happy about it, but they be all right.
I say take two, girl.
Mimi?
I think it's a catch-22. I think that it's okay to want to know who your child is around. This person could be a rapist, a child molester. This person could be gang-related, hugging the block, got the homies in front. So you need to know who they're dating a little bit, but you don't need to be all up in the grill. You don't need to be drilling the kid what they say today, where they go eat.
You don't
what
think-
they
wait a minute.
So, but the reason they need to ask, like I have a friend, the courts gave him full custody of the child, but let the mother see the child on the weekends. She was dating a guy who just got out of jail 6 months prior. the young man had a problem with the child and told him, yeah, I'm going to chin check you, and did some other weird stuff. So one day, and it was on the news, he ended up killing the little boy. He stabbed him so many times. It was the most saddest funeral, and that's my little nephew. So the point that I'm making is you got to figure out who you're dating, because it might be the wrong MF, right? But on the flip side of it, you got to mind your business, because this person, you're not together, so you need to realize, let's move on. But you just need to make sure this is, I mean, you don't have to overdo the audition, obviously. It's about the child's safety is all I'm saying as well, you know, because you don't know who that child's in the house with. And I mean, he killed the little boy in front of his other younger son. The little boy now, the younger son is 9 now, and I pick him up from school sometime, and he's always like, my brother would have been 13 now.
Way to break our hearts, Mimi.
I'm sorry. I'm just
about to get teary.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that. No breaking hearts, y'all. But the little boy is strong, and I'm just saying, though, we have to be careful. Maybe I'm telling somebody that needed to hear that. Maybe, you know what I mean? You never know why I said that. I didn't mean to tell all that, but you never know. So
it's too late. We heard it.
Yeah, we're going to cry hard.
People should not...
So
when they first start dating someone new.
You got to speak into the mic.
I do feel like that when someone first start dating or becomes into a relationship, it's not always good to introduce your children to who you're dating. You know, you just have to have some discretion. If you're not talking about putting a ring on my finger, I don't really see the point of you meeting my children, because I don't want to give them the impression that, damn, you know, every 6 months or every year, mama got a different man.
Right.
You know, and kids pay attention to that, and they do what we do, not what we say. So when you're raising daughters, you don't want to, every time you turn around, oh, this mommy's boyfriend, this mommy boy, because when she grow up, she's going to probably be promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things are just handed down, but you can't just bring anybody around your children.
Listen.
And it doesn't matter what sex, because you have men messing with little boys. You have grown women messing with little boys and little girls. So these days, it doesn't matter what the gender is. It's some people are just mentally sick.
All right. So listen, we got to take a quick break. I'm going to set up another question for the break. True or false, a baby mama who knows how to push your buttons will do it for entertainment purposes. When she knows that all she has to do is send a text or say a word and you will react with venom, it gives her satisfaction to know that she can control you. Oh, shit. Listen, if you're dealing with this foolishness, call us. The number to dial is 323-230-4610, and I will deal with this unruly audience.
It's the heathen section. Don't hate.
Right. I will deal with them during the break. But yo, call us 323-230-4610. We'll be back at 2.2. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Dash Talk. Hey, the voice of reason is back. I had to preempt the Tevin Campbell song because it was taken over by the women in the studio.
Hello.
Miss Lips and say her name.
Bliss.
Bliss.
Don't worry about the last name. Just
Welcome back to the Voice of Reason, man. We got a great topic tonight. The origin of baby mama and baby daddy drama. How much of this shit comes because people are mad the relationship didn't work?
Or how it started off. I mean, let's just be true about that.
Is there a way to start a relationship right?
Sex.
Wrong. There is no way to start it right. It's just, I just think you got damaged people interfacing with each other, and from that damage comes whatever comes out of the fucking shit they ain't never dealt with.
Or, you know, you have sex with a condom and you put it on and take it off and you still get pregnant. I'm living proof of that. So
somebody should have kept that damn condom on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what should have
so
happened.
He didn't believe it was his, of course. And I was like, well, it is yours. So.
Oh, you had to go, Mari.
I just didn't talk to him. I said, well, you know, you can take your test, but I know it's yours. So I guess when your results come back, you can call me and then we can discuss.
I want to go back to Tone Talks. He wants to address the question. True or false? Once a child reaches a certain age, there's little for the parents to talk about on a daily basis. Really not a lot of shit. Once they get to school age and you've got their cell phone and you could hit them directly, there's really no need to be reaching to the mama. or the daddy?
You know,
speak on that.
I've talked to some people in the studio, but like I talk about wealth a lot. And the middle black family worth $1,700 in this country. And what you have is a lot of dreams despite that. You have a lot of goals that match $1 million lifestyle. You know, and again, that data comes from Edward Wolf out of NYU. It doesn't come from anything that I guessed. And I had to set that framework because I think what you actually see now is that Americans never grow up. White people are tied to their parents well into their 40s. Mm-hmm. And they're talking to their parents, and their parents are talking to each other. While we have this idea that once you hit 18, that it's over.
This is why we have bullshit beliefs like, be a man. Mm-hmm. When this motherfucking white boy works for his daddy, who got the company from his daddy. Mm-hmm. And he gets to work there because that's the fallback plan for being just basically mediocre his whole fucking life.
And let's add one more step, that the company was built on the blood and back of your dad.
Wow.
And so, like, I guess what I'm pointing to is that I think many of these issues are based on the fact that we just don't understand our place in America. Oof. We don't understand, and I don't mean that in a sense of should we respect white people. I'm just talking about understanding what you're starting with. Understanding that who's this person's grandparents? How many people ask about parents on a first date or a second date or a third date? Not
you
to
ask
judge.
it too much.
Okay. Yeah, not to judge, but just to basically get to a point where this is what I'm dealing with. And I think that for a lot of us, what we've come up with is if I ignore it, then it won't happen. It didn't happen.
Wow.
I could just make something up. So,
well, a lot of women do that. A lot of women will know that the dude is about bullshit. But like I said before, they'll stuff that in their back pocket as a means of getting out of that shit later.
Well, let's go.
This is why I'm leaving, nigga. But you knew that from the jump.
Yeah, let's go back to this table, like what we've been hearing. So one of the things that I've heard is multiple men with multiple children. So like, you know, I don't know how we get there. Like, you meet a man, he got children with 2 women already. I understand we older. But like, is that a red flag? Is it like
he got kids? I can't do it.
By multiple women, though. By like 3 women. 3 women. Is that like a red flag, or is the red flag something else?
I'm gonna tell you what it's a red flag for. Being the fuck by yourself. Let's just keep it honest. A sister just posted something. I did a radio show with her many, many years ago. She posted something on Facebook asking, what was that question, guys? You remember that question? Let me pull this shit up. She asked a question. Basically, I'm going to paraphrase. She was basically saying, oh, there she is. Yeah, I'm going to pull this shit up. Y'all got to see this shit here. About fucking men of means who are attractive. If a man is attractive and has financial means, is he more likely to be unfaithful? You're fucking right.
Okay. Yeah.
He's going to do what he wants. And not only is he going to be unfaithful, he's going to be honest about it.
Right.
Because what can you do about it? You're going to be like, yes, you can.
Okay.
I'm just.
I don't think that it has anything to do with his money. I think that when he has his money, like you said, he's going to be more honest about it. But him having money doesn't determine whether he's going to be faithful or not faithful. If he's going to be unfaithful, he's going to be unfaithful whether he's rich, broke, poor, whatever his situation is. There's a lot of...
Money provides a lot of options.
Yeah.
This is part of it, though.
About dudes now.
So when we look at black people across the spectrum, we only have 2.6% of the national wealth. We talked about that. Period.
Right. Please break down the 2.6%.
And almost all of it is in the top 15% of black households, which is almost all old boomers, other than some athletes. Many of us haven't seen a man of means. So like what ends up happening is like we speak about a guy that sold some weed. We're not talking about him right now. And so like we talking about like a dude. We talking about a dude waiting for grandma to die, and she's worth 2.2 million. Not thousand. And so, like, I think for a lot of us, as a result, when we do get introduced to somebody who has means, we try to frame them in the size of who we've already known. And then the other thing that we tend to do is date comfortable. What do I mean? You went to that high school, you know, where all the dudes kind of fell off, but you like the dudes there because they comfortable.
Wow.
You know? You're talking about me.
You know, they comfortable. You like them. You know, I like what I know.
Well, I have a question for you. Do you think that a lot of it has to do with upbringing and background? Meaning that some people come from 2-parent homes, people come from 1-parent, abusive, and then they may not use that same of what they learned in the same way, but it's still another way that they use it to show that they grew up in some type of dysfunction. I mean, I don't want to use that term, but you know.
I think some of it is exposure, but then I think some of it is culture. I mean, what we've seen in our era is the inversion of what success is. We went from the early 80s where a doctor, a judge was success to now Jay-Z is success. And like, it's just inverted. I mean, because he doesn't have a high school diploma. Let's just be real.
Right.
But
I get that he's a rapper and he made
but he
millions
is
of dollars.
successul.
Relatively. And I'm saying to you,
relatively, but I'm still successful.
But I'm saying, let me finish the point. I'm saying to you, we live in an era where black people are pushing their kids to graduate from high school and graduate from college. And like the reality is that we inverted the idea of what success was. And so now everybody's confused because what happens is it's not him that's the problem. It's the reality that you don't know. Normally, if you don't have a high school diploma in this society, you will be dysfunctional.
True indeed. But I will say this, there are exceptions to the rule. And racism plays a part. If Richard Branson can exist, the owner of Virgin, who's a high school dropout, Jay-Z can exist.
But but you can't have a race live that way.
No, you can't.
That's my problem.
A whole race cannot live like that.
But that's where we at.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh, man, this shit is good.
Yes. You got Bill Cosby that got his GED. Like, I got my GED and high school diploma and associates and bachelor's in science. I ain't just no thought. I can make a medicine. I can cure you.
I can make a medicine.
Uh-huh.
Nigga.
Right.
I can make a medicine. The fuck is going on, Just? Listen, let's get to some phone lines.
Okay.
Caller, welcome to the Voice of Reason. Speak on it. Caller.
Yeah.
Get out of the storm. Talk to us. What's happening?
What's happening? It's CA calling from Atlanta.
ATL in the building. Speak on it.
Hey, brother. So, just want to tell you, man, you're a good brother. I love the show. I have gone back while I'm at work and listened to a ton of your shows from years ago, and I love it, man. Listen to it on a nightly or the 3 nights that you come on now, the days at work. What's up to the panel, everybody? Me.
Hey.
We changing.
Hey, boo.
We changing angry Smurf to the Baby Juicy. Remember that from last week? Baby Juicy, not Angry Smurf no more. But on this subject, Zoe, man, I'm right in the middle of what you guys are talking about right now. Me and my 3-year-old son's mother have been separated for a year, just about exactly at this particular moment. And knowing that I was the breadwinner of the situation and we separated, I moved into another home. She wanted to keep the home, keep the newer car, and she wasn't able to afford it. So what I did was, instead of her taking me to court, I said, hey, I'm going to pay particular bills that I knew she couldn't handle, and then I'd take care of my son and all of his needs, daycare, clothes, whatever it may be, and I'll help you out with some bills. Now, after doing all of this and her new situation didn't work out, when she's short on bills, I need $100 here, I'm short on rent, $150 there, I'm short on this here, you know, I would help her out. She is my son's mother, and I'm doing all I can, and it's been a year now. And so now I'm kind of trying to pull back a little bit on the extra help that I'm giving her. And she acts like
hey,
I
don't,
owe her
hey,
something I'm supposed to carry her for the rest of her life.
Hey, listen, you better not pull back on that extra help.
Boy.
You know she gonna turn up. You don't never get them primed and ready to do some shit by giving them stuff and then take it away. She gonna take you to court for what you take away.
Yeah, because she count that money before it comes.
Yep, she
And
expecting that.
we got along perfectly. It took me almost a year. Before I even got into a new situation where she had been through 2 or 3 situations because she's attracting her reflection and it's not working out. And me, I attracted my reflection. You know, I'm coming into the knowledge, and I met a beautiful sister who actually is more knowledgeable of things than I am, and she's boosting me up, and it's a lovely situation, and I think she senses that, and, you know, it's just a little bit of drama there, but I just wanted to drop that on y'all,
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Love the show. Love everybody on the panel.
Thank you, man.
Listen, keep doing your thing, man.
All right, man. Thank you for the drama.
Thank you.
Okay.
Who else got drama to share? I want to hear from females that have baby daddy drama. Call us 323-230-4610. The phone lines are open. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Zoe, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
What's up, man? This is from the Bronx.
Hey, what's happening? BX in the building.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Great topic, man. A thought that popped in my mind, though, was it is amazing to me how much black people do not plan parenthood. Like, it's too often something that just happens. It's not planned out, and we don't give creating a life the seriousness that it deserves. Like, you are tied with the parent till you die. You are responsible for that child till you die. The expenses that comes from that union will exist whether you and her together anymore, because that child is there until you die. But it's an afterthought. So people out here creating babies, but you're supposed to plan having children. Can I afford to have children? Do I want to bring my child up in this world?
Wait. I don't agree with until you die.
Yeah, you are.
Until they reach a certain age.
Not in this America. You know,
Now-
in this America.
Not money, though. I mean responsible. Like,
There we
you are
go.
responsible.
I just want that to be clear, because there's some niggas looking at a date right now like, it's almost over.
Oh, I don't. But Zoe, think about it, Zoe. What you just said. You said how in the white community, how that when that son is 25, 30, he can still have a job, working for his father.
But wait, we don't have that.
Yeah, that's why
we don't have that. And to be honest with you, a lot of times we do look at our children as burdens, as financial burdens that we can't wait to be done with,
or lottery
when
tickets.
they reach a certain age, or lottery tickets.
This is the
we become better parents the more successful our kids become. Tell me I'm lying.
At basketball.
If I'm just pointing it out.
So let me say one thing about the caller.
You are agreeing. Like, we're saying the same thing. I'm saying we need a mindset shift. Like, that's a negative way of thinking that your children are the ones that are supposed to get you out of poverty or get you out of a bad situation. No, you're supposed to create an environment where children can flourish, and that involves planning, and we don't do that for some reason.
The problem with what you're saying is that you're lacking the data, that these people don't have the tools to provide that environment. See, I think that what you're saying is the quality of being poor, not being black. And just the reality is that almost our whole race is poor. It's just the data. I'm not talking income right now. I'm talking wealth. Almost every working age family that you see is underwater if they don't have a boomer. That's what America has done to us. Through student debt, credit card debt, that's how we've made ourselves look like we're stable. And so what you're actually like communicating is the fundamental flaw of a family that's worth $1,700. A study showed that the average single black mother's worth $5. So, like, if you're worth $5 and you want your kid to go to UCLA or USC, which is $40,000 a year, how does that math add up? Are we just gonna wait for Bill Gates to pay for it? And I guess I'm coming to your statement and just saying we just got to be careful not to attribute it to race when it's actually poverty and also a long legacy of slavery, not necessarily just being black.
I'm with you, but this question. If, like, that, in your scenario, when you said that a single black mom and she's worth like $5, my question to you is, you was worth that before the kid, so why bring the kid into it? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can't fault people. The one thing that you see is that we're made to feel we're stable enough. That's the first thing, and you can't fault people as they get older for procreating. The problem, you're putting the blame on the individual. As a black person, I say put the blame on the government of why they don't have enough money to provide it for a kid. See, I don't put the blame on that individual black female that has $5 as much as I say, we are black, we built this place, and we all should have bread.
I think I agree with you. I'm just saying there's enough blame to go around. You can blame the government for I'm with you. It costs too much to raise a family in America. That we agree on. What I'm saying, if you know that it costs too much, yeah, some of the blame is on the government, but the other half is why bring a child to suffer? We're not talking about middle class. We're talking about poverty. If you are impoverished, like, why have 2-3 kids? That's just insane to me.
So there's a couple of factors. There's a couple of factors, caller. You got to let our panel deal with them. You got a lot of motherfuckers who see kids as a way out of the poverty. Meaning, nigga, if you got something to love when everything is just dilapidated all around you, you don't really love the person you made the kid with. But one guarantee for sure, in all this poverty, you have a kid, that kid gonna love you, right? So a lot of people do it for selfish reasons. A lot of people do it based on timing. Oh, well, I gotta have a kid before too long because after a certain while, I'm gonna be too old to be a good mom. You got people with stupid ideas now. These are beliefs in our community. Then the next factor is this. What my man just said right now, Antonio Moore. Most people don't sit back and think about the cost of raising a kid right. What is it, $1 million?
And let me
$2
say,
million?
yeah, it's $1 million. And if you're talking about getting them through college. And then what's interesting is you use the word black. And it's a trip because I just did a piece on black people and whether Harvard really, because Harvard came out with this whole thing that we got 14% black. But I know 9% of that is new Africans and Caribbeans and biracial people.
We're just going to claim them just to make you niggas feel better.
But this is what's interesting about what's interesting about his point is that the Nigerians, the Senegalese, the Guyanese, they're planning. They're not planning necessarily for their kid always to go to Harvard, but they're sitting back and planning as communities how to raise their people. And I think that for a lot of us, we really don't understand what slavery was and what the purpose of creating confusion. So we look at the individual across from us and we blame far too much on that individual and not enough on the system that created that individual. And that's one thing that I just say to you as brother to brother is like, we got to look at the fact that this person isn't acting out, lashing out on any individual. They might not know how to act because they weren't taught by their mom. And they mom wasn't taught by their mom. And this was all created for us to be acting out this way. And I think that's Zoe's purpose with this show and the shows that he does is kind of give people a better way to do.
I think we just need to ask a question. How many abortions you pay for, sir?
Well, and not just that.
No,
I think it goes back to what he was originally, the caller, when he called, he was just basically saying people are having these children without planning. But what it is, there's no conversation before procreation. You know, you go out, you having a good time. You know, when you're in that mood, sometimes you're not even thinking about what if this person get pregnant.
But
so
even
now
if you have the conversation, the real conversation is, who your people?
Who you?
Who are you? What do y'all do?
Well, a lot of
your
these,
mom
a lot of these women
got
out
a
here,
daycare center at the crib.
Sometimes the women see dollar signs and they want it to happen on purpose, and sometimes the men do too.
You get more food stamps, more kid, honey.
Right. You get more help when you have children.
Oh, God. Okay. You get $500 if you got
So
two
now-
kids.
The conversation is just not being had.
So
the
now-
conversation between these two individuals, if I let you put this thing up in me and I get pregnant, what's going to happen? He going to tell you right now, oh, you're going to have an abortion. Then you can have that comment, well, no, I'm not, because my biological clock ticking. But nobody was thinking about that when you had a few hennies on the rocks.
But it's also, it ain't just my biological clock is ticking. It's more, if you put a baby in me, I'm going into business. I'm going to get some bread, my nigga. Whether it's from you or the system. I'm going to get something out of this kid.
She going to throw up that Plan B pill, honey. She going to throw it up. As soon as you leave, she going to put a motherfucking pencil through underneath her throat. Nigga,
she like you know how to do it.
Girl, I had to do what I had to do, okay?
Nah, I'm just being real. Like, seriously.
Angry Smurf ain't said nothing. I'm just.
Is she
throwing
gonna
that
jump
out
in?
there.
Listen.
Y'all letting y'all go ahead.
I'm sitting back. I don't know nothing about that.
Listen, again, like, you gotta have somebody, like you said, a boomer, somebody in your family that's got leverage, economic leverage, or the kids are gonna struggle.
In this America.
In this America, they're gonna struggle. My 2 oldest children, their mother, she said, I'm going back to school. I want to get my degree. She goes to the University of Phoenix. She gets her degree, her bachelor's in human services. Then my uncle calls and says, hey, I heard she got her bachelor's. What's happening? He said, I sit on the board at Laverne. Let's get her the master's. I said, all right, well, what she need? What's happening?
Y'all forget Zoe light skin.
And my uncle was like, all she got to do is call me.
He helped baby mamas, honey.
He was like, all she got to do is call me. And I can get her into the school. He got her into the school. She got her master's in organizational leadership.
That's right.
So the bottom line is,
thanks to you,
if you're going to have a kid with somebody, right, you're really having a kid with their entire lineage and all of the resources that are available. That's what marriage was created for in the first place. Or at least family. You'd be able to get on the horn and go, hey, I need a situation.
This is the problem, though, Zoe. If black people think that way, we won't have no babies.
Say
That's
more.
not true.
Oh, say more.
like
Go deeper.
So, like, if you look at the data, I'm like, all I speak on is just the data of it. White America controls 90% of the wealth. There's $94 trillion in household wealth. White America has 90% of it. We got about 2.6. It's mostly in boomer hands. What we're living on is credit. What we're living on is hope. And I can't fault nobody for having a baby and having hope in that baby.
They have it. That baby's a lottery ticket.
Not even just a lottery ticket.
You already know.
Not just a lottery ticket. I think for decades, for generations, what black people are propelled forward is the hope of freedom in the future through their children. And I think that's kind of ingrained in our culture, that our children will have a better life than us. There was an article that came out that just this week from Quartz that said, despite poor white people having more, black people are more hopeful.
Right.
And so, like, there's a cultural hope ingrained in black people, whether it be through church or through culture.
Right.
But I think
we spiritual.
But yeah, so coming
Hallelujah.
back to
Hold the vocal shot.
So coming back to it, I think that what we got to do is redefine like what our goals are. Do you really need all those iPads and iPhones and Amazons in your house, or are you trying to keep up with the white folk?
Everything about black life is keeping up with white folk.
Right.
Yeah. Shit.
My dog on Michael Kors from Rent a Center.
Oh my God.
Not really. I gotta pay my $25 and send it in, no matter where I'm at, honey. Shoot.
Hilarious.
Girl, they ain't finna send no repo mail to get my shit. Fuck that. I'll run. Catch me.
Angry Smurf, you went to college, right?
I mean, right. Like, you don't know.
It's your turn to talk. I was just trying to set you up, Jesus.
Okay, thanks.
Since you want to be an ass.
You know
I went to college.
But
like you don't know. Go ahead. You went to college, right? I'm not going to ask the number, but I'm just going to ask the situation. Meaning, there's data out there that says the average female sister that went to college is worth a certain amount of money.
Negative 10,000.
My question to you, do you still have debt?
Oh, of course.
Yes. I wanted to talk about that. So in building a relationship that is based on family, the guy you're looking for, right? He got to be on board with your debt, or at least helping you get it down.
Right. I'd prefer us not to both be in debt.
Speak on it.
So I think that's the main thing, because if we're combining incomes and everything like that, once you get married, then you're combining debt. So I'd rather keep that number low while I'm doing it in the meantime, paying it off on my own. When I combine myself with another person, that we don't increase that amount because we're going to combine accounts. So
Wow.
I'd rather them not have debt. And it's not even about, how much money you make, but like, if you didn't have to like shell out 80 grand in student loans like I did, then this is amazing. Like you don't have, you went to school for free because you had a scholarship because you played this. Cool.
That's the only thing that, and this is where we're at, is like if a third of the men been in jail and a half don't have no job, and of the ones that have a job, most of them at like $12 an hour. Like the sample size of the amount of men that don't have,
you just got to go to All-Star Weekend.
Yeah,
but there's
that's
some
the only way
people
it's gonna work.
that work that didn't have to
on Craigslist.
But like people that went to community college or whatever, like they were like, it's like, oh, I was able to pay it off because it wasn't that much. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Most of that small sample though comes back to being tied to a boomer that helped them out. They just ain't telling.
Well, sometimes they didn't have to go to school or go to college or anything like that. Even that is still better than someone that did get a degree and you have that same amount of debt as me.
And I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the sample size is really small. And I guess for me, what I feel like happens is our system is a debt system. And I'm not justifying debt. I'm just saying this is not. A lot of people have a role model that's an old boomer, and that was when you didn't have to get debt to buy stuff. Like a house was $85,000 in LA.
Right.
You didn't need no school loans to go to school. So like everybody has an idea in their head of a perfect that is rare today. And a lot of the drama, I think comes out of that because you coming into the situation asking for something he can't deliver. And he asking you for something you can't deliver. So y'all both speaking at each other like y'all perfect. Like y'all came from 2-parent households with.
And like the system is greased up working for you.
Yeah, like you just went to the racetrack and messed up twice.
Well, I also feel like, I'm just going to say this. I feel like we, as African Americans, some of us don't know how to work the system because a lot of stuff that I have learned, I have sat down with other races that have taught me a lot of things in reference to how to get out of school debt, how to go around it. And I feel like, some of us don't want to hear that. But for me, I actually sat down and listened. And from me listening is why I have my own business and why I pay myself only a certain amount of money to get around this. But a lot of us don't want to hear that because they think everything is a scam, and it's not. You need to learn from the teachers that developed all this mess up in this country to show you how they did it.
Right.
And how they didn't live off of that. You know what I mean? And
So Mimi, that's a great point. I like that. Mimi.
Yes.
She talked about black people not knowing how to work the system.
Mm-hmm.
Black people damn sure know how to work each other, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about us using the system against each other?
Oh, yeah. We definitely use it.
Because a lot of the baby mama drama and the baby daddy drama comes from using the system against each other. Can we speak to that?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of times, especially when battling for a child, both parents use the system for their benefit or try. Mm-hmm. So therefore, the mother's scooping up all the negative information on the dad, whatever he's doing, whatever secrets that she wants to tell to her parties in order to win the child or win the court settlement that they're going through. And then on the flip side, the father's doing the same thing. He's whipping out all the dirt, She's always not home. The babies is with the grandma, whatever the dirt is. Everybody's whipping out the dirt. But at the end of the day, they're hurting the child more than anything. One, the child deserves to be with both parents if both parents.
But we're hurt people.
I know.
Mm-hmm. My man Antonio Moore says it all the damn time. We're from slavery.
Yes.
We're generationally traumatized, and the system is designed for us to take that out on each other. That's the only place where we can show strength is fucking each other up.
But Zoe, I ain't from slavery. I'm from the Cosby Show. That's what
Say more.
So like you got a whole generation. You got a whole generation of people that were like programmed by the Cosby Show and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They show this judge, and then they show the outside of the house, and the house looked like Camelot.
Because it exists.
When the last time you seen a judge walk out of one? And so
I've seen him.
My uncle was a judge, Judge Parrott, and you can Google it. And he was black.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying that's a $10 million house, and I'm saying to you that fundamentally they showed us.
Philly?
They showed us.
Are you talking about in
I'm showing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house is a $10 million
that's a $10 million house.
The only way that you can get that house is being an entertainer or legacy money. Meaning like you own farms and peanut farms. And I'm saying this to say that we got programmed to believe that this education was going to lead to $1 million lives. Right. And so now a bunch of people don't think they came from, and they don't know that they saying that they don't really understand what it means to have come from slavery. Right. And so that love that undergirded relationships before the Cosby Show, before the early 80s, it's not as much there. We're here together to strive together and build an empire together. And then when the empire don't happen,
this relationship wasn't shit anyway.
Well, I want to say this. Go ahead, Mimi. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to just chime in and say, I mean, I understand what he's saying, but my thing is, if they're showing growth on television, like I would be mad if on every show the black people were broke. Then we would be talking mess about that. So every show, so we have to pick and choose our battles. Like I don't want to see that the black man is always living in the apartment with the roaches and when you turn the lights on, they all running. I want to see something that can give us hope. So although those facts that he just mentioned are correct in a lot of ways, but I just feel like when you see those shows, although it's not factual for yourself, it's something for you to achieve or to think or try. It's possible. And hey, maybe you didn't reach the stars, but hell, you did a lot along the way. You know what I mean?
But let's come back to
some ballers out there. It's some ballers.
Let's come back to
we all can't talk at the same time. Let's be clear.
Let's come back to the issue though, which is inside of creating aspiration, you also create craze. And like this is part of the reason that we have so much drama. Is that people always throwing away this person because this person, they can make them into what was on TV. And like, I think that for a lot of us, our relationships are not undergirded with honesty about who you are dealing with. Meaning, like, I understand what you're saying, that you accept that the middle black family is worth $1,700. You don't have to. And I'm saying to you that most black families in this country are poor. And the problem, part of it is that not that they don't accept their poverty, it's that they get frustrated with each other for that poverty.
Wow.
And I want to add something that I think, there's a poet named Vaughn that's in Dallas, and I read her poetry like she's really, really deep to me, but she says, we gave up our 40 acres for a contract with the Lakers. That's what she said. So then also, I'm a sign language interpreter. So I interpret for Louis Farrakhan a lot when he comes to Prairie View University. And he's asked, how many of you are going to school for agriculture? Raise your hand. And then he says, okay, so how many of you actually have worked on the land and got dirty? Nobody hand went up.
Right.
So he said, my problem is that I don't understand how you're going to take over land and make it do what it do and get the cows and multiply if you don't even know how to get your hands dirty. So his point was that if you just had 2 cows, you'll be a millionaire, but you guys don't even know that. You guys are trying to get all the education, but you're missing the point. You got to get out there and do the work, not just be behind reading the books and everything like that. So a lot of stuff like that is kind of what I take heed on, to know that, we go to school, but we still got to understand the work that goes into making this money and being millionaires.
Somebody
got to grow the weed.
Right. What did you want to know what I think about it?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Mel, or Bliss, what we call her. Everybody just kind of have to change the way they think, first of all, especially when you're dealing with, if you want to go back to parents, because that's what it all go back to. We keep going back to color and statistics and black and white and monopoly and all this, but it also goes back to the conversation. And then we also had to do like a credit check to find out what kind of debts are you in. Like Tone said, we probably would never make children because we would be like, okay, well, look, how can we?
So let me ask you this, because I want to drill down on this.
Okay.
What if, this is crazy. Like, what if when, like, this baby mama, baby drama, we're listening to all this data and all this information. Do you think women are more in the know about the data, the numbers, the inequality? Like, just the black women, do you think they know? Because you mentioned something about education, being in college, being in school. First off, a lot of people ain't picking the right fucking majors. They picking some easy shit so they can get the paper, the degree, right?
But what happens when they get that?
But let me just say this. I think black men, are more in tune with what Tone is talking about in terms of the data because most black men are operating outside of the system. Sisters know how to play the game. You know how, if we liken it to a game of baseball, sisters always know how to get a base hit, a double. They steal a base. They know how to get on base.
The majority.
I'm just saying, if you look at the number one, who's the number one gender in college right now? Black women, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's y'all. Y'all know how to play the system's game. So by playing the system's game, you tend to bring those standards that you got from the system back to your man. Your man is a cleanup hitter. He's batting fourth, and he's swinging for the fences. Now, most home run hitters strike out. They strike out more than the on base guys, the Rod Carews, right? You understand, Kenny Laughlins, right? They know how to get on base. Women know how to get on base. Women know how to play the game. Men are trying to swing for the fences and hit the home run, so they ain't got to run the bases. So now there's this fucking, I would say, cognitive dissonance between the sister, who is also a conservative in most cases. The more educated she becomes, the more money she makes, she becomes conservative in a lot of ways. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can get here. Look at me.
Right. That's why I was going back into the inferiority.
But another one, Zoe, that you see is that I like, you see this. My audience is like 65, 70% male. Funny enough. But you also see, I accept the data, but there's still this outside possibility. We don't have that possibility. Like I keep saying, it's so rare for somebody. We don't go to UCLA and think some white male might choose us as a mate. You go in there thinking I gotta provide for myself. And I'm not saying that black women don't as well, but there's always this idea, well, I can mess with the swirl or something like that.
The fucking Bachelorette is black.
And Paul, and yeah. And so it's funny because
Show Liz, and she cute.
It's funny because
chocolate.
As long as sometimes I wonder if we understand what that number 1,700 means. Because is it better just to make it zero? Because that's what it almost is. Because I guess right now where we're at is our race is basically flat in terms of wealth for working age families. But everything we talk about is as though we all talk about those 1, 2, or 3 people we know that operate outside of that, but we don't know their whole story. But we don't talk about all the cousins and nephews and nieces and everybody else in our day-to-day life. Right now, part of the big reason I believe that we have so much drama is that we as black people are not sitting down and being honest with ourselves in the morning and with the person that we're dealing with at night.
It's true. Y'all motherfuckers is trying to live like white folk. Let's just be honest.
I don't know, Zoe. I know some people that own some farmland in Phoenix.
Yeah, you had him coming to the show.
I sure did. I know how to milk a cow.
And but he rare.
No, he not.
Yeah, he is.
It's a lot of farmers out here that's black. They ain't on Twitter.
Yeah, but they don't have contract. Like when you look at the Cargiles as an example, they make all the eggs for McDonald's. This country is look, let's talk about land. So I did a piece. You can Google it when you want to. African American land. Everybody can get the answer. White Americans in this country control 98% of the land. We got 1%. The reality is that I think that what we're hearing right now is a lack of acceptance of like what slavery left behind. We kind of believe, that's why I brought up the Cosby Show, that something happened in like 1982 where America gave us reparations. And like things are better for like 15% of us. Well, I met one of them once. I did an interview with Byron Allen. He's one of the 5 richest black people in this country. And he called it economic genocide. I'm not, I don't know how else to tell that to our race, you know?
Listen, I'm going to ask the ladies. And I'm going to start with Mimi. I'm going to ask the ladies. At the end of the day, what do you tell young African-American girls and boys, you know, that are trying to be together and be serious and shit? What do you tell them? Like, because most kids are totally oblivious to the economic climate that's happening. An article just came out today that said if landlords in Los Angeles went up on their rents by 5%, it would push a massive amount of Angelenos into homelessness. A few weeks back, an article came out and said, if you want to live in downtown Los Angeles, you have to make at least $100,000 a year in order to, and this is renting apartments. This isn't buying a home or something. This is, I'm renting in downtown. You got to make at least $100,000. What do you tell youngsters? What do you say to them? They getting serious and fucking, especially this is a baby mama, baby daddy drama kind of situation. Say you got a 15, 16-year-old sophomore, junior, getting itchy, want to fuck. You know what it is? You know what it is? What do you say? What do you tell them? Mimi? Knowing all this.
Wow, it was a lot to digest right there. But I think first and foremost, I think that we need to know better and do better. So I think each person should get in a lane and figure out, what is their purpose and work on that, because your purpose is what's going to make way for you. That's your fruit. And if you keep watering it and harvesting that fruit, then you can grow in anything that you put your mind to. So, some people aren't meant to be this big college scholar. Some people will make it because they came up with a witty app, or they'll make it because they're a farmer growing weed, or whatever they're doing. I'm not pointing out what the business is. What I'm saying is everybody's field is different. Somebody can become wealthy because they got the best shoe shine parlor in town, because they made that best shoe shine parlor. They got that spit on it that shines so good. So I just think whatever your lane is, and you just get with yourself and kind of let your purpose through God come through, then that's when you're going to prosper. That's number one. Number two, let's get rid of the GoFundMes and all that. Let's get some life insurance. Let's be the type of people that leave an inheritance so you can make a difference, so your child doesn't have to struggle like you had to struggle. And number three, I think show your child about the stock market. Learn about investments that you can make. There's so many things that you can do to make money that we're just so not really ignorant, but we're not accustomed to getting new information. They said if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. So at the end of the day, they got it in the book, and you're not opening the book. So basically, there's so many ways that let's just say the Europeans make money that we could be doing the same thing. We're just not applying ourselves. Apply yourself.
I think
Angry Smurf, and then I'm gonna come to you. Yeah.
I think the issue with you talking about like younger people, right?
Yeah, younger people.
It's just being afraid to really talk about money in the first place. I think it's just always something that's like a facade, or everyone's like scared to be real or honest about it. It's like, oh yeah, I got this amount. No, you don't. Like, just be honest with yourself. I think that's the main thing, because in the end of the day, you're only gonna hurt yourself, and you're gonna look goofy when you're wrong. So I think one thing that I talk about with the person I'm dealing with, we talk about money and budgeting and things like that. And I think he's like the first person I've ever heard, like as a guy, that would be like, I budget my money. And he's an athlete and plays overseas, makes way more money than the average guy. And for him to even be like on that mindset is like perfect, in my opinion. And that's why I feel like it's okay to just have those conversations, because especially when you're going to be involved with someone and join as one, because it's going to come up and it's going to create a problem if you ignore those issues. And I feel like just saving is a big thing. People can come into money and just want to blow it fast. And I feel like it's because they just want things that they weren't able to have, but saving it, those things are always going to be there. And I think for people to just have that patience, a lot of older people, you'll see wealthy people there on boats and cruises and things like that, and they're well over their 60s and they're living in their life. Like, you don't have to do that at 22, or
Right.
You don't have to, it's like you have time to spend your money, wait till you are retired to spend those your money on those lavish things.
I just wanted to retract back to something you had said. You said, how do you, like the baby boomers, the 15-year-olds, the 16-year-olds that are going out there fucking, having sex, making babies. I really think that it goes back to generational curses and not really being able to expose our children to different things. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, and myself, we all got pregnant at 15. All four of us.
Wow.
If that's not a generational curse, I don't know what it is.
Wow.
But my people came from Opelousas, Louisiana, a little small town. For them to think move to Houston, in their mind, that's moving to the big city. You done made it to the big leagues when you move to Houston. And I grew up in Houston, so to me, it ain't all of that. I want to go to Paris and France and, I travel the world and go to Africa and Dubai and stuff like that because I've been exposed to different things. So I know that there's a desire to experience other things. But when you're dealing with someone who maybe has not been exposed to a lot of things and they're coming from an environment of poverty and all they see is struggle, that's all they know is struggle, they're content and comfortable in struggle because it's what they're most, familiar with, so to speak. So here it is, mama had me at 18, so I don't see what the big deal is if I get pregnant at 17 and have a baby because mama did it, grandma did it, great grandma did it. And that's the same way I looked at it when I had my first son at 16. I'm like, mama, how you gonna tell me when you had Donald at 16 or you had grandma, you had so-and-so at 16 or 17? It was like a generational curse, but my sons, I'm a grandmother now. So, you know what I'm saying?
As young as you are?
Thank you. But yes, I have three sons, and two of them are, my oldest one, he's in his 20s. And now that I'm a grandmother, I love my grandson. But at the same time, I want them to experience life. I don't even want them to rush and get married just because they had kids, because that's another stereotype that we have, that you have to get married just because you had a baby.
Yeah, and I want to point out that for me, I feel that I started volunteering at my old high school a lot. It's an area that's predominantly Spanish and Hispanic and Black. And what I found was that when I volunteered to work with all these kids, you can see what they go through. You can hear the mother screaming through the phone. The father's like, well, I'm sorry, this is my time in the summer. You're not going to be able to do your camp. So what I did was I decided when I'm volunteering, I really was listening to them, because that to me seems to be another gap that we have. We graduate, we move on, we kind of get out of our environment, but sometimes going back into our community just to see what's going on with certain individuals, you'd be amazed at what you see and what's going on and what you can inspire. Say, I graduated from here, I'm doing this, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's degree, you want to know how I did this, and blah, blah, blah. And I learned that from both my parents. My parents have been married 50 years in November. And one thing about them, neither one of them have a degree. But when it comes to saving and putting money up and working together, those two work together with their eyes closed. And from me seeing that is why it's been easy for me to not just get into a situation with a guy just because he's sweet and we're kind, So at the end of the day, I feel like just communication with the younger generation, I think, is really a good thing.
And then Miss Lips, and my man Antonio's going to wrap this point.
Yeah, and you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with having a baby at 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I'm going to tell you why. I had my daughter at 14, and my 18-year-old just found out I had her at 16. Like, I was lying to her. Like, she got her birth certificate today, and she found out that I had her at 16 because I told her I had her at 18. That's why she not pregnant now. You understand me? You see that? Because let me tell you about manipulation. When you manipulate your kids.
Manipulate.
Right? Manipulate. I'm from Chicago, okay?
Okay.
You have to tell your daughter, hey, I'm enough hoe for you. You don't have to hoe. You need me to send you some money, I'll send you some money. You know what I'm saying? See, I didn't have that.
Let me slang this pussy.
That's right. I slang my pussy for my kids all day. Okay? I got 7 days off. Okay? And I take them days to the beach. Okay? But no, it's okay. It's not a curse. Because my 20-year-old is in business law. Honey, and she ain't got no kids. She got a dog. She got an apartment. She good. Like, I got an 18-year-old. She finding her way. Like, these kids are meant to be here. Like, all these men that pay for abortions. Okay, you paid for it, and you took her to the abortion clinic. You still lost an L. You took an L. You took an L. So don't say you ain't got no kids. You ain't got no live kids.
Antonio. Oh, wow. Yes. Antonio.
Yeah, it's funny because I think that so much of the talk about like wealth tools and things of the sort is talking about fairness in another way. There's a great piece. I want everybody to go Google it and read it. It came out in the Atlantic, legitimate, great site. It's called "Why the Myth of Meritocracy Hurts Kids of Color," and it's about a new study that finds that believing society is fair can lead disadvantaged Black kids and other kids to act out once they get to middle school.
Ooh.
And our whole race is doing that. So we basically sit up and we talk about things like race didn't happen, like slavery didn't happen. We just say it in another kind of mixed up way. And that's why these relationships ain't working. I could tell you point blank, this is what's wrong. And I'm saying to you, if you're sitting up and saying that you can just bootstrap your way out of a history of racism, if you saying that you can bootstrap your way out of being Black in this country, you're gonna go through exactly what this study says Black kids are going through when they hit middle school. And then the question is, are you gonna look at yourself and say, I'm a big part of the reason that this relationship didn't work? Or are you gonna say, let me just find another dude who's gonna listen to the crazy stuff I've been talking about?
Ooh. And let me tell you why that's so real. You know this. This is Monday's topic on the So What Show. That universal what is it, fee? The universal salary. What is it? The universal pay that they're about to come out with. Because at the end of the day, most of the jobs y'all bootstrapping with are about to be replaced by robots in the next 10 years. Yep. So all this, we can do it. That shit is no. That shit is, this ain't the 50s when you could go do it. That's when granddaddy was a mechanic and bought a house from being a mechanic, and mom didn't have to work because granddaddy was a mechanic.
Let's throw another one in. Right? All that. I'm finna start up a bracelet shop. Amazon is like, oh, she made good bracelets. Let's just steal the concept from her,
right,
and get it to them in 2 days,
right.
Yep.
And so the reality of what capital is doing is capital is getting ruthless, and I think for a lot of us, I'm just saying that when it goes wrong, we got to be there for each other,
right?
I think part of what you have to add to how when you're going through this drama is to ask yourself how much of this drama is because we both talking real crazy about money,
right? That's really where a lot of it is coming from. Let's go back to that universal. What is it called? Universal. It's like a universe.
Everybody get paid.
Everybody gets paid. Universal income. Everybody's getting paid. You know why? Because the rich people already know. First off, ain't enough money, too much poverty, too much economic inequity. Somebody gonna kill somebody over not having this money.
Purge.
Yeah, but we
the
believe
jobs,
in capitalism,
right?
Though.
And the jobs are leaving.
We believe in capitalism, though. We believe that
universal basic income.
We believe
that's what's coming down the pike.
We believe we can capitalize ourselves out of this.
No,
a lot of us talk about it like we can do the exact same. There's this magic list of things that white people did, but I'm gonna take out the part where they used my granddaddy's bones. I'm gonna take that part out.
Wow.
There's this magic list without that part where we can do these things and we gonna be rich too. Wow. In a world where white people getting eaten up. Look at Yahoo. Yahoo got to close up shop.
Yeah.
They got to close up shop. You look at the battle between Amazon and Walmart right now. Walmart can't keep up.
Right.
And that's not to say that you stop being a person and going to work, but that's saying that on a lot of levels, our race is structured outside. And so somebody that's on a first date that's telling you that we inside might not be the right person.
And listen, this is why the NFL could sit here and go outwardly, fuck Colin Kaepernick.
Even though he's good.
And all you niggas can boycott if you want. Mm-hmm. We still cracking. We still the number one sports brand in the world. It's the Shield. And now you even got brothers coming out speaking on it a little bit, saying, "Oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong." But it ain't gonna matter because you know what? A lot of niggas is still gonna participate in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And a lot of niggas is still gonna participate in the NFL because they believe the system is okay. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to tell y'all, all that That universal basic income fucked me up. I sat down and watched Elon Musk, the dude who owns the Tesla. I watched Zuckerberg from Facebook.
They all said it.
They're all like,
But
that
Zoe-
shit's gotta happen
All
because
trap money, though.
in a few years, the robots is doing it all.
So, but like coming back to that study that I told you before, one of the interesting things that comes out of telling your kid that everything's fair is when they get to middle school, they get reckless.
Yeah.
And like you kind of see that with our race. I call this our middle school. You know, we went through elementary in the 70s and the 80s. Now we kind of in middle school and everybody looking around and it ain't happening. That life that you thought was going to happen is not happening in mass like it did before.
Right.
And you getting reckless with these MLM games, these pyramid schemes. And it's just reckless talk of and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with weed, but like in a sense, we don't have enough grapple on the legal realities behind what Jeff Sessions is going to do, how that can get you locked up if you don't have the right connections in the politics and everything else. And I'm saying that for us as a race, I'm not saying that we shouldn't try. I'm not saying that black people shouldn't go to work because I think we should. But I think that we
One
need to
thing
start
black people
understanding-
ain't tried hard enough to do is stick the fuck together.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
That's one thing black people ain't tried hard enough to do.
Unless it's some trap money.
But I feel like it's because they feel like they can't. Like that's not the key, and it's like it is though.
But it starts in our relationships, Mimi.
Exactly.
We gotta have black organization.
Wait. Mimi, then you.
Okay, so basically in other races, like let's just pay attention to the Hispanics. They can move here from another country and they can move here on a box and they can all move into a one bedroom apartment with 20 of them in it. And they will get their bread together and get another apartment. And then they'll get them a house and 20 more come. And they build and build and build. So it's possible to make it. If they can make it,
question.
why can't we? So all that, I hear all the data and all that. But I mean, really, brothers and sisters, if you really want to make it, you can make it. I mean, sometimes we just plain lazy, okay?
Ooh.
Because there's jobs out there that black people could apply for, but they think they too good. You don't want to apply at McDonald's. I'm not saying go to McDonald's. What I am saying is that Hispanics are taking those jobs. They're taking all types of jobs that we frown upon. And I'm not saying we need those jobs, but I'm saying pay attention. They're taking the jobs we don't want. They'll clean the backyard, clean the shit. We like, I ain't cleaning up no shit for that amount of money. And I get it. I'm not saying clean up the shit. But what I'm saying is opportunity is there. You have to take a chance and do what you never thought you could do, because if they can make it from Mexico and buy houses after here for a year, why can't we? We here already.
I like it, Mimi. There
Or
it
even
is.
get back to the dynasty. You wonder how to have so many nail shops and so many different stores that serve the African American community that's not owned by African Americans. There's this rule called the dynasty rule where you may have 5 family members, and every year those 5 family members have to put $10,000 up, and at the end of that year, you have $50,000. One person out of that dynasty have to take that $50,000 and open up a business, and you do that consecutively for the next 5 years. Now you have 5 people that have inherited as well as invested $50,000, and you have 5 people in that family that now have a business. We don't do that in the black community.
I got a homeboy whose sister died and left their parents well over $200,000. Now, she also left all of the female firstborn girls $25,000 apiece. Right? All of the nieces. They spent all that money. They didn't even spend it together.
Block.
Go ahead.
The thing that is funny, because I was like, immigration is one thing. I was in Tijuana the day of the election. I'm talking to this Mexican dude in Tijuana, and I said, how much for a house right here on the border? He said $40,000. I said, how much to buy just an apartment in a nice neighborhood? $4,000. I think that we don't see that we don't have a home country to do this like gameplay that they doing, and we also have citizenship. So we can't get lost enough. So like we give a lot of other groups credit where we should be giving our own race credit. Meaning, I feel like there's times when Latinos have a second income in their house that they ain't reporting. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that as a group.
A lot of blacks don't report their income.
No, I'm talking about being a gardener. I'm talking about you gotta. Nonetheless, let me just finish my point. Okay. All I'm saying to you is we make conservative arguments about black people, and I'm saying to you, you can say you understand the data, but you can't say you understand the data and be dismissive of the fact that there's 45% unemployment in 35 major cities.
That's a big number.
Black men between 20 and 34. That means that there aren't opportunities. That's not 15 or 17%. Right now, we're in a cataclysmic state, and what's happening in this baby mama drama kind of discussion is I kind of understand it, but I don't want to accept it. But you go live it and bring me back some money.
Oh,
wow.
And be chivalrous on the date.
Yeah.
Pick up the check.
45%.
I don't know, because I just cashed in like some 20-year-old saving bonds that I found in my saving deposit box. Like, just digging through some shit. Like, my family is from Chicago, yes, but my grandfather was one of the architects that built the blueprint for downtown Michigan Avenue. Like, I didn't come from poor. My family is selfish. Like, I have a house waiting on me in Hammond, Indiana. Like,
yeah, that's your story though. That's not Black America.
But we do have resources. Like, my grandfather owned land in Jewtown. Jewtown is like on the west side of Chicago.
What town?
Jewtown.
I'm just fucking.
And no, they changed it. No, because they rebuilt all that over there. Like, for real. It's called Jewtown. Like, people in Chicago, I swear to God, they know what Jewtown is. Maxwell's, all that was ran by black people, entrepreneurs.
Hallelujah.
You understand me? My granddad had 2 jobs because he had kids on the side too. But that second job was for them. You understand me? He used to steal the meat out the doggone freezer to give to them at the back door. He didn't think I knew, but it's okay.
Right.
You know. But we have to share. Like, if you got an extra room in your house, use it for somebody that need it. Like, we need to learn how to save some money, yes, but we also need to learn how to share what we got.
Okay, I can smoke a bag of that. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you're calling from? I know you're trying to get in, been trying to get in for a long time. Turn your entire life down. It's too loud. Turn it down. Turn it down.
Hello?
Yes, turn your radio down. Turn your life. Your life is loud.
Is that better?
Turn it down. Just a little bit more. All right, what's happening?
Right there. Oh, no, I was calling in to just to add to the conversation. First of all, shout out to everybody on the panel. Love what y'all talking about. But I was thinking about the quote by Mother Teresa saying that you have no peace because we've forgotten that we need each other, or we've forgotten that we belong to each other. And touching on what you had said earlier, Zoe, in your live Instagram, I think we need to start chasing after power more than money. We're always talking about
hey,
currency,
you know what? Hold on, pimp. Hold on.
Oh,
I gotta say that. Just thank you for reminding me. I gotta say that. He's making reference to what I was saying in the Periscope when I was telling the story, what Quincy Jones told me about hip hop. And Quincy was like, I love the fact that the young guys are out there getting their money. He said, good, get your money. He said, but once you get your money, give your homies jobs so they're not envious of you. Right? Because if you don't do that, they're going to be looking at you sideways. All your peoples, all your friends that are in your circle, give them jobs, put them on. He said, but then after you do that, go out into the world and see if your money has any power. Now, Bill Cosby figured out that his $600 million didn't have no power when he tried to buy NBC. And they said, get the fuck out of here.
Byron Allen the same way?
Byron Allen, same way. He's a billionaire. Get the fuck out of here. So again, money isn't power. They're 2 different things.
But Zoe, one more point for that
That's
same thing
stuff,
for this
man.
caller. Same thing for this caller.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that I'm getting in this discussion is when we talk about drama, what we're not seeing is, like, do we really grasp what race is and what white people really have set up in this system to keep us in a position of powerlessness where we don't own any of the producing spaces.
Right.
They make all the oranges,
You get
all the
money.
peanut.
You get money, but that money is for consumption.
Let's use an example.
It's not for consolidation of power.
Let's use an example. When you're trying to buy, okay, so in September, a ranch went up for sale. One of the largest ranches. Ted Turner picked it up. Just Ted Turner by himself owns a quarter of what all black people own in land.
How many acres does Ted Turner own?
A chunk. Let me say
tens of thousands of acres.
Now the bigger point is that when that ranch went for sale, you might say
I own ladybugs, nigga.
you might say, why didn't Floyd buy it? Because they ain't gonna sell to Floyd. Ooh. See, like when you get to that level, they say up to $60 million, you can't live no better after that.
Right.
But then when you try to move that into like core resources, it's other people to buy. They choose who they sell to. Even at an NBA team, when you ever notice that they got 3 people and then the NBA says you can buy the team. That's the way all this stuff works.
Right.
When Byron was getting his channel, and I talked to Byron for hundreds of hours, when he was trying to get his channel with Time Warner, they told him no. He had to sue him in court and say, use slave laws and say, hey, give me my stuff. Give me a channel. You give me an opportunity. And for us, I think in a lot of ways, we've created a narrative where if we get enough money and we come in with a good enough suit and with enough education, these white people going to let us in.
Let me in, Whitey.
You got to be a creator, man.
I'm kicking the door
down. You got to
down.
be a creator, man, because I got 4 scripts in my car right now.
I'm kicking the door down.
Okay.
Y'all heard me? I got my gat
scripts
in the back.
Okay?
Fuck all that, homie. I'm getting mine.
Caller.
About what y'all talking about.
Where is he? Is he
You
still
gotta be
there?
boss out here.
Is he still there? So caller, thank you for reminding me about that point. Go ahead and finish your point.
Like I said, just touching on that, what power comes through unity. If you look at every other race, you look at every other. I mean, we talk about like the comparisons all day, every day, but I think until we have a mentality to really live a certain way that we don't want to live, until we actually want to embrace a reality that we want to keep avoiding, like living in a 1-bedroom with all our family because we're stacking up money. But even if it's not about money, but again, like I said, us coming together in unity as far as in our relationships, when we're having a conversation, it's, okay, well, your dreams or your goals about what you want to aspire and what you want to get, is that actually who you are? And if we come together as a collective as who we are as people, even if it's a small groups, we've seen the Black Panthers, we've seen Black Wall Street, we have all these stories in history, but we're not really implementing it now. We have so much information now. All the information in the world is available to us now, and we know better than what the people in the past didn't know. So if we take that same mentality and start focusing inward to each other, to everyone sitting around at the table, and stop making it about currency and money, but who are you? What's your talents? What can we do? What can we do as a unit and as a group together? That's where all power comes from. No one can do it alone. There's been no record of anybody achieving any sort of power or whatever it may be single-handedly. It comes from a collective. And even if it starts as a small group, if that group has enough conviction, if it has enough purpose and enough fruit behind it, eventually people start to see the change in it. Because what Tone talks about, what I hear you talk about, in my perception, there's no more of the pie left. So eventually America is going to come, we're fighting over crumbs constantly. And we think that, we can have crumbs and we'll have a whole pie. No, there's no pie left. And eventually they're just about to start distributing crumbs. So what we need to do is come together and start getting our own motherfucking ingredients to making our own pie, rewriting the game, and stop living by the exceptions in the hope of being the exception, but we actually rewrite the rules.
All right, brother. Thank you. That was good information. We appreciate it. We gotta run real quick.
Are you single?
All right, love y'all.
Are you single?
We love you.
Miss Liz.
I'm sorry, all these single men, like they living in a 1-bedroom apartment with nobody on their left or right.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I'm tired. Look, I'm share the pillow. Share the pillow.
So real quick, wrap that up. You were texting me something. I want you to speak on.
Yeah, I think part of what I'm hearing about this baby drama thing is like the difference is kind of like really grasping race. And like when I say race, I don't mean being defeated from race, but understanding the story of our entire race versus aberrations. It's funny because...
Wait, let me say it another way, and then I'm going to let you finish. I think what you're saying is if you have a certain amount of material and you know what the material is, you know what you can build from the material you have. Now, if you go try to build some shit that your material doesn't cover, like for instance, you can't build a pyramid out of straw. just ain't gonna, the shit ain't gonna be there. It ain't gonna last. You gotta build what your materials allow you to build. I think that's what you're trying to say.
And that's not how, a lot of people were socialized to believe. They believe
we could build whatever.
You just draw the map and then it's gonna happen. And
I'm gonna do whatever.
And the other part that they believe too is they don't look at the fact that white folks are still that too. Your material too. Yes.
Right.
And like we just haven't seen. So I think a lot of us, and I don't want anybody to have seen that because we never saw a lynching. We don't know where mass incarceration came from. Ugh. The visual reality of racism and the nastiness of what it created isn't real for us in the same way it was for our grandparents. And so like they took our brothers and our husbands, I mean not my husband, but other people's husbands away, and they put them in lock boxes, but we didn't get to see them get lynched. So we don't have that visceral hate for the system the same way. And so we then create narratives like this system is much kinder to us than it is.
But we got too many motherfuckers out there that are apologists for the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, Colin, if you want to get back in the league, cut your hair.
Ray Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of motherfuckers that are out there that are apologists based off of the opportunity they get for publicly apologizing for the system. Mm-hmm. And again, what is our women gonna follow who the winner is? Whoever winning, our women is on their team for the most part. Because even if they on our team, the standards they have for us are written by the dominant team. So in a way, she's still on their team, even when she on your team. Now, she's helping you rob banks. That's a good woman.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll do it. They were like,
before we end up wrapping up the show, I actually want to thank you guys publicly and say thank you for having a Bliss and I on this show.
What's the name of your book again?
What is a Selfish Baby Mama?
Here, pass it down so they can hold it up on the camera.
Okay.
What is a selfish baby mama and what is a selfish baby daddy? Please, please, please make sure you grab your copies. We're trying to get the
support
words
these ladies,
out there.
man.
We are black authors. These books have been published through One Publishing, which is my company.
You got your own company?
ONNEY.net. Look it up. Get published.
LLC.
And follow me on Instagram, social media. Oney the CEO. ONNEY the CEO. Be sure to follow Bliss. She's gonna drop her information as well.
I go by Miss Nicole Wilson on Facebook. I have a group called Autism Moms Are Beautiful, and every week I give away free gifts. I'm gonna have events for them, and the point of it is to provide encouragement and love because many of them go through divorces. They go through a lot of suicidal thoughts and different things. So yes, you can find me at Autism Moms Are Beautiful on Facebook.
I love it. I love it. Mimi.
Yo, it's your girl Mimi, and you can check me out with Keeping It Real with Mimi. I'm on Accelerated Radio on Thursdays from 7 to 8. And if you want to hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, I'm at Keeping It Real with Mimi. Check me out because I keeps it real, baby.
Hey, Mimi's show was lit last night. We was in there cutting up. We was cutting up last night. We had legendary West Coast rapper Cam in the building.
She had a
It was
freestyle
turned up. It was fly, right?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
What time is it again?
Mimi out here doing her thing.
Hell yeah.
Joel Comedy. Where can they find your angry, disgruntled ass?
I'm not that angry. I'm just blunt.
I'm just playing. I mean, come on, babe. Where can they find you?
On all social media, Joey XSB, and you can catch me at World on Wheels.
Yeah. World on Wheels.
Yeah, I do the DJ booth.
Give me some. Okay,
It's lit.
don't run into no gang members. Okay.
Man, I
Miss
have already.
Lips.
Ugh.
Miss Lips.
Oh man,
Where can they
follow
find
me
your ass?
on Twitter, Instagram, Miss Lips Entertainment. I'm an LLC now. I'm also filming my shoot tomorrow at Drone Box in LA. DM me if you want to be a background actor in my movie tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm gonna be producing Felix Mitchell Bio, the new version. Yeah.
Speak on it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, chiming in. Man, let me just tell you, this YouTube live is lit. They see everybody on here. We got over nearly 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. They watching the show live. This is lit right now. What, Joel? They want to give Joel 10 inches. People, hey, y'all don't know, man. Joel is little.
My jaw stank.
Little on the little elf side of the game, but she curvy. She little curves. Yeah, she got the whole Jada Pinkett vibe. For real, for real. Listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You understand, we're not going to come with all the right answers. That's not the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to have the discussion, start the discussion, get people thinking and talking about it. My quick summary is this. You can't have expectations for your man if you do not understand the economic plight of your people. If you understand the economic plight of your people, and I'm talking about systemically, then you could say, I can build my expectations for him off of a knowledge of where we are as a people. If you are totally oblivious to where we are as a people, your beliefs will serve as the wick to the fucking drama bomb that's waiting to blow up in that relationship every time. And that's men and women. Know who you are, know where you are, know where you stand, then build a plan from there. All right, y'all. We got to go. I'm going to holla at y'all. We'll be back Monday with other heaters. The Voice of Reason. So What Morning Show. We'll be back. Deuces.